This is problem 3.05 from Francois Tardieu's Backgammon Strategic Concepts book from Chapter 3, Playing with or Against a Lone Back Checker. Here's the position. We're green. We rolled a 6-5. Our home board's in the bottom right. Our opponent, white, has escaped one of their back checkers. We'll look at the two top moves and try to figure out which one is best and why. I'll give you my quick observations on each of the moves. We'll look at some of Tardieu's key points, as well as Tardieu's expert analysis with feedback from XG. Then we'll look at Tardieu's summary, and I'll modify the position, which raises a few questions. At the end of the video, I'll show you a playlist I recommend from Michihito Kageyama's YouTube channel called Michi's Backgammon School. Some points to remember when playing with or against a lone back checker. A lone back checker can escape twice as easily as two checkers. It can run to freedom in a single roll. However, a single back checker cannot form an anchor, so it's vulnerable to being blitzed by the opponent. Here's the first possible move, anchoring up 24-18 and adding a fighter by bringing one down 13-8, like this. This makes the valuable anchor on the 18 point, brings an 11th checker down into the attack, strips our midpoint, allows white to escape their lone back checker, because we didn't hit it, and leaves a blot on our 11 point. The next move is to anchor up 24-18 and hit loose on our 3 point, like this. This makes a valuable advanced anchor on the bar point, the 18 point. Hits when we have a slightly stronger home board. We've got 2 points covered, the 5 and the 6. White's only got 1 point covered, the 6. Hits when we have an advanced anchor now on white's bar point. Takes away white's chance to escape their lone back checker because we put them on the bar. They can hit us, but they can't escape completely. Leaves a vulnerable blot on the 3 point and also a blot on the 11 point. Compare both moves, try to think of which one looks best to you. Tardieu has some priorities he mentions when playing against a lone checker. Basically, our priority is to stop our opponent from escaping that last checker. We should think of things like slotting a key priming point, like maybe the 4 point or the 3 point, or the 7 point. Think of slowing our opponent's development down, splitting our back checkers if we had to. If we had them both back here, that's an anchor in order to control the outfield. Try to seek contact in the outfield to force a shooting contest so we can even out, hit our opponent, and send a second checker back to even out the number of back checkers. And also to hinder the mobility of our opponent's checkers by possibly priming them in. Let's see what Tardieu and XG say. For the move where we anchor up and add a fighter, Tardieu says the 18 point is vital, giving us a long-term defensive asset and drastically reducing our chances of getting primed. However, this play strips our midpoint and leaves 3 indirect shots, 6-2, 2-6, double 4s. The play also allows white to roll a 5-4, 6-3, double 4s, double 6s to escape this last back checker, which is our number one priority, to stop them from escaping this checker, which is why this is the top rated move by both Tardieu and XG. We have the stronger home board. Well, we will have a strong advanced anchor on white's bar point. So we should now capitalize on those advantages by hitting loose on our 3-point to disrupt white's development. Oops. The 22 point is a dangerous place for white and a tempting target for us to hit, especially when we already have another point near it in our inner board. These two. Making a solid structure in our board is a key step in building a prime, and this makes the loose hit an even more solid play. The number 2 play is a blunder, big error, according to XG. So this move, hitting loose on the 3-point, slots a key priming point, 3-point. It hits white and slows their development down. And it also hinders their mobility by putting them on the bar. Tardieu's summary, a stronger inner board and a defensive anchor are two key factors in favor of a shooting game, which targets 3 key objectives: unbalancing our opponent by putting them on the bar, taking away half their roll, reinforcing our inner board by slotting that 3-point, possibly covering it next time, and we're building a prime. If we modify the position to take away our home board advantage by giving white a better home board, taking 2 checkers off their 6-point, putting on the 5, like ends up like this, and moving our 2 checkers from our 5-point to our 4-point, like to make our home board weaker. So now instead of having the 6 and the 5-point, we have the 6 and the 4-point. Let's see how that changes the move, the suggested move. If we erase our home board advantage, XG tells us that we still should anchor up on the 18-point, but not hit loose on the 3-point. I believe this tells us that our home board advantage was a major factor in the original position. We should now play more conservatively, focus on strengthening our board before we hit our opponent. I think I'm interpreting this correctly, but I might be missing something. Let me know if you agree or not, or if you have a question or a comment. All feedback is welcome. Check out Michihito Kageyama's YouTube channel and his playlist entitled Michi's Backgammon School. Michi is one of the top backgammon players in the world. Watch as he goes over interesting positions, examining all their features and the thought process he uses to come up with a decision about that position.